Yo guys, what's going down? It's MC Noble here. Welcome back to another video for the second week running. As a matter of fact, it has been vinyl week, and yeah, we've had more vinyl come in the post. So I did a video yesterday because I had some vinyl come in the post, and then I actually had some more that came in the post today. And I didn't actually expect that I was going to get some today. It kind of like shocked me. And it was a couple of records that I had sort of forgotten about, or I maybe didn't expect that were going to come until the beginning of the week. But these ones came quite super quick actually. So I thought, let's merge the video into one rather than having two separate record videos. Just merge the one, get them all shown, etc. and stuff like that. So if you want to check out my Mixcloud, just quickly follow me on Mixcloud at MC Noble. I put MC sets up on there, and I've done a couple of vinyl mixes on there for those of you who are interested in the vinyl and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first up, in a not so good sleeve, we actually have United Nations, You and Me. Now, not so long back, I searched high and low to find this track. Now, have you ever had that sort of occasion where you will just remember like a little part of a song, like say just the chorus, or say just like a couple of words in the track, and you will search high and low to find what that tune is? Well, I had this not long back, and I tried to find this track. And when I realised it was by United Nations, it kind of shocked me that I never found it earlier. But this is United Nations, You and Me. And the chorus goes, if I opened my heart, something, if I gave you my heart, would you take it? Or something like that. I can't fully remember now. And I just had it stuck in my brain for ages on end, just this chorus, and I could not think, you know, what the tune was. And yeah, so next up we have United Nations, Out of Touch. This was one of my favourite tracks by them, and I really love this one. This is the remix of the 80s song by, is it Hale and Oates, who actually did the original You're Out of Touch. It's on Grand Theft Auto Vice City as well, for those of you who are actually quite interested. And like I say, it is an absolute banger of a track, but the United Nations version just gives a little bit more housey and clubby feel to it. Next up, we actually have the Boogie Pimps, Somebody to Love. And again, this is just a banger. If you remember the music video with all them babies parachuting out of the plane and landing on that fit girl's, you know what you call it. And you know, it's just one of them classic Ministry of Sound songs. It was on the Ministry of Sound CDs, the annuals, you know, it was on the DVDs and stuff like that that they used to bring out with the music videos on. And it used to come on the television channels and stuff like that, on the music channels. And, you know, it was one of them classic songs. And every now and again it just comes back to me as a classic to just play it and love it. So next up, you should all know this one. This is Benny Benassi, Satisfaction. If you haven't heard this one, then you haven't lived your life, because this was like a big Ministry of Sound house track at the time. Had all these sort of like girls in bikinis sort of like doing the drilling and the plumbing and, you know, being like builders, etc. And it was an absolute stomper of a track for its time. And there's been a few remixes, but, you know, some remixes just don't compete to the original. And there was just something about this original. Again, it was on the Ministry of Sound CDs, the annuals. It was just one of them massive tracks that are just absolutely wicked. So next up, we actually have Studio B, Come On Get It On, Come and Get It On. And yeah, I've never heard this track before, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. I like Studio B, I love their track I See Girls. Let's give it a try. Studio B, what, do you have to offer? And, it's very, in a way, like similar to the Icy Girls, but it's different at the same time. But you can tell it's got that same male sort of like rapper guy in it who does kind of like the rhyming about the girls and stuff. And it, you know, you listen to it and you know, you could listen to it and you could think that's by Studio B. You know, when you just have a feel for an artist and you can hear their work and you know, you just instantly know that he's the person who did that track. So next up, we've got a white labelled special remix of Felix, Don't You Want Me. This is the DJ Prince and Justin K got to have. This is an absolute stomper of a track. If you remember Felix, Don't You Want Me, Don't You Want My Love, sorry. This is just, you know, classic tune. The melody in it is just fantastic. And this vocal riff, MIDI, whatever you want to call it, has been used thousands of times in tracks. There's a David Guetta and Snoop Dogg version, Make You Sweat, that uses the same riff, which just absolutely killed the track. And why David Guetta went that way and started using riffs from older tracks, like when he did the Work Hard, Play Hard in the you know, which is taken from the Alice DJ's Better Off Alone. It just ruined it. I preferred David Guetta when he did stuff like Love Don't Let Me Go, The Love Is Gone, and when he did sort of the other ones as well, the you know, like Sexy Bitch, and you know, there was a few to mention, and he, you know, he did some quite good tracks. But then when he sort of brought back these remixes of like classic piano riffs from back in the day, just put me off him. So we actually have Body Rockers, I Like the Way You Move. Now, I never used to really like this song, and then Coleman's Instant Beef Gravy Paste did an advert using this track, and as far as what I can remember, I think it was like a gravy jumped out of the boat, the gravy boat, and turned into a cow, and then kind of like did this dancing, and it said I like the way you move instead of I like the way you move. And it just really made me sort of see this song in a different way. And as I got older as well, I just fell in love with it, and now I do like it, and now I've got it on vinyl. Speaking of David Guetta, we've got David Guetta versus The Egg, Don't Let Me Down, and this was actually featured on the Citroen C4 car advert. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but basically the Citroen C4 turns into a transformer and starts ice skating around some ice rink, and it's got this song in the background. And yeah, it was a really good tune that actually promoted the car advert. And finally, last but not least, we have Mason versus Princess versus Superstar. So the track is actually Perfect Exceeder. So Mason Princess, sorry, versus Superstar. Perfect Exceeder. What a classic track. You remember the video? It was like some girls like working out on a on massive like forget what they called them, like inflatable ball type things that you do all the sort of like stretching and you lay out on them and stuff like that. And they were doing all like sort of gymnastic stuff as well in the video. Classical tune. Love this one for years, and to have it on vinyl is definitely something exciting. So yeah, a load more records come in the post. I do actually have some more on order that are going to come later this week, and I know you're probably thinking like, how am I just getting all of these vinyl records? Well, if you actually search high and low on the Discogs website, you will actually find them quite cheap. Now, bearing in mind, like sometimes, you know, I mean, I don't think in all of the time I've been buying these records off of the Discogs, I've never paid more than a tenner for one record. And that's like literally saying something. So every time I get an order of records, it comes to maybe something like £7. Sometimes it's gone up to the total of 15 quid, but it's never gone past 15 quid. So like, you know, you browse about and you can find people selling records second hand. I mean, I'm a collector, but at the same time I'm going to be mixing these, so they aren't going to just sit on a shelf for years and never get used and sit in immaculate condition. They're going to get a bit of dust, they're going to get a bit of scratched. You know, you're mixing on them, what can you expect? So when you can pick them up for like 49p, you know, second hand but still plain mixable, you know, you add a couple of quid postage onto the whole order, so maybe you pay like what, you know, you get like 4 or 5 records, you pay like 3 quid, 4 quid, and then you add like, say, a 3 quid postage, and so you get them for around about 7 quid. In all honesty, like, it's quite a good deal. So I'm always browsing the Discogs and, you know, seeing, you know, what my options are and what I can find and stuff like that, and just adding to my collection. So that is my new collection. Like I say, check out my Mixcloud. I've got a vinyl mix on there, and there's another one that's going to get uploaded today. So like, comment, share, and peace out, people. Enjoy your day. It has been, as a matter of fact, vinyl week. Yes, vinyl is life. Life is vinyl. Life wouldn't be worth living without vinyl. Nah, it would, but you can't beat a good old 12-inch and having the physical copy. Expect a video about that, actually. Why vinyl?